Paulo Freire was born in Brazil on September the 19th, 1921, to a middle-class family. As was the case with most families, the Great Depression exposed him to a world that was quite different than he would have otherwise been exposed to. The death of his father led to changes in the family fortunes. Paulo was quite far behind in his schooling and stated later in 2002 in an interview that poverty and hunger severely affected his ability to learn. "I wasn't dumb. It wasn't the lack of interest. Experience showed me, once again, the relationship between social class and knowledge." The theory of critical pedagogy combines a social movement with a philosophy of education that posits the students' need to develop a consciousness about their own education and ability or inabilities to learn. By recognizing the oppressive elements at work, the authoritarian doctrines of those in power, as well as the influences of those doctrines within the nature of those who are oppressed, and to connect knowledge to power and the ability to effect change by taking control of their own learning. Paulo Freire is considered to be the central figure of this movement, but it has been expanded upon by Henry Giraud as well as others. Feminism, the topic of our discussion this evening, plays an important part in clarifying and exemplifying Freire's ideas of the importance of critical thinking in education. Freire's third publication, Pedagogy of the Oppressed, is one of his most well-known and examined works, and provides a clear foundation for his theory of critical pedagogy. Within its pages lies the heart of the matter, that the oppressed must come to a new and clear dialogue, as Freire refers to it during his writings and presentations, with their own reality. Students need to move beyond simply regurgitating the party line of those in power and create new dialogue that allows them to change their circumstance and their oppression from within. He cautions that the students need to think, reflect, and constantly recreate themselves and their reality. Otherwise, they are unable to truly break free from the oppression, but either assist in the continuation of their own oppression by their tacit acceptance of it, or that they do not recognize the core seat of the oppressor within themselves and become the very thing that they struggled against. Some of the worst examples of oppressors were once oppressed themselves and have overzealously compensated for their past history. One of Freire's main criticisms of education lies in the concept of the banking model of teaching. This type of teaching, where the teacher passes along knowledge to a passively accepting class of students, who simply accept, without question, the facts, truths, and worldviews of the educator, as directed by the current party in power, is still a method challenged today in a style we have come to refer to as sage on the stage. One of the final books written and expanded by Paulo before his death was Teachers as Cultural Workers, Letters to Those Who Dare Teach. In the fourth letter, he outlines what he states, and I quote, "are the indispensable qualities of progressive teachers for their better performance." Paulo identifies these attributes as the following: humility, lovingness, courage, tolerance, decisiveness, security, wisdom, and verbal parsimony, which he defines as the ability to control your words and not to exceed the limits of considered yet energetic discourse or dialogue amongst the students and teacher. It's easy to see the parallels between the movement for the introduction of character education in our schools and these attributes that Paulo Freire believes exemplifies progressive teaching. To conclude, Freire highlights what could be created within schools where such progressive teachers who exemplify these attributes work. The qualities of a progressive teacher create schools in which thinking, participation, creation, speaking and open dialogue, love, and the ability to risk-take and inquire are paramount. These create a school which doesn't become reluctant to change, or as Freire says, to quiet down, or to become defeated and quit. The emphasis on inquiry-based learning, gender and cultural equality, and the recognition and discussion of bias in historical and cultural perspectives, which has been woven into the current Ontario Library Association's Together for Learning document, the Growing Success document, and the current revisions of the Ontario curriculum, beginning with the Social Studies, History, Geography K-8 curriculum, can be closely paralleled with the work of Paulo Freire.